Hello children, welcome back to our session. So in our yesterday's class, we learnt about a very famous personality, Sudha Chandran, Madam Sudha Chandran, and I also gave you all task to browse and know more about Stephen Hawking and Helen Keller. With confidence that you have completed the task, I am moving on to the lesson. Attitude is altitude. And let's go to a quick recap what is attitude and what is altitude. Altitude, as always, it is height, and attitude is way of thinking. Our way of thinking tells us what we are. Okay, so in this topic we are learning about a very famous personality, Nick Vujicic. Okay, and he is a torso. We all know very clearly with our yesterday's session. Yes, we discussed about him that he is a torso, he doesn't have hands and legs, he just has a chicken drumstick, and he got married and he started with his family. In yesterday's session I told you all that he has one son. It's not one son, he has two sons and two daughters. Okay, just make a correction to this. And what all are his favorite things? He is a huge fan of English Premier League. So I stopped my session yesterday here, and today I am continuing from page number 4, first paragraph. Page number 4, first paragraph. His parents decided not to send him to a special school. We usually have special schools for mentally disabled or physically disabled because they may feel inferior attending normal schools. Like normal students will be there, and if there's physically if they have any disability, they don't feel like getting mingled with the other students that easily. So what do we have? We have some special schools for them. But here Nick Vujicic's parents, they decided not to send Nick to such special schools. They wanted to admit their child to a very normal school so that Nick learns to do things by himself. If he goes to such special schools, what happens there? He'll have a special caretakers for him who assists him always, doesn't allow or doesn't give a chance for Nick to think of doing things by himself. So what is that bold decision taken by his parents? They thought that Nick should be sent to a normal school, and this is the best decision they have taken in molding Nick to be self-confident and to make himself independent. And he is independent, and the process of being independent is not that easy. He had to go through number of pains to become a strong person in his life, and now as already discussed in yesterday's class, he is a motivational speaker. He gives motivational speech to number of people in this world who are especially in depression of losing their career or their loved ones. There will be many reasons for being depressed. So his motivational speech boosts us again to lead a fresh life. So let's come back to our textbook. When Nick was born, his father was so shocked that he left the hospital room to vomit. So usually when a baby is born, everybody will be excited to see the newborn, new child who enters into their family. So here the same way Nick's father was also eagerly waiting for the child. As soon as the child was born, when he entered into the labor room and he saw the child, he was speechless. He didn't speak a word, but immediately he moved out of the room, labor room, to vomit. Means never he imagined, never he saw such child born with no hands and no legs. It was just only the trunk of the body. He was shocked, and at the same time he felt like vomiting. He went and seriously he vomited, and his distraught mother means worried mother and upset Mother is upset. His distraught mother couldn't bring herself to hold him until he was 4 months old. Until the child was 4 months old, Nick's mother was not prepared to hold that child, how to carry that child. So they were in that shock of what a child, how to deal with him, how the child moves on in his life. All these questions were running in their brain, and at the same time they were feeling like they were cursed by someone for being blessed with such a child. His disability came without any medical explanation. No doctor was able to give a proper explanation about why the child is born with such a great disability. So many disabilities, okay, one hand is gone, one hand is there, two legs, okay, but both the legs and both the hands are gone, that is disastrous. Yes, so no doctor, no medical field person could explain why this happened. A rare occurrence called phocomelia. The name of this disability is phocomelia. Pronunciation, listen, observe to this pronunciation of this word. Phocomelia. Okay. And Nick and his parents spent many years asking why this cruel trick happened with them. They were cursing themselves, they were asking God why this happened only with us, why such things with us. They were in depression. My mother was a nurse and she did everything right during pregnancy, but she still blamed herself, he said. So, what is Nick's mother by her profession? She is a nurse. She is into medical departments. She knows well about what kind of precautions, what kind of medication she has to undergo during her pregnancy. Even though, in spite of taking great care of her health, being into medical field, the child is born this way, and she blamed herself that she is the reason for the child to be born this way. Is she the reason, children? No, she is not at all the reason. That could be like, God's creation. It's a kind of God's creation. Maybe this man born in this way, God thought that he should stand as an inspirational icon to this world. Maybe for that God created this man this way, though it is so painful to bear, or bear in the sense bringing up the child. Okay, it's not that bear. Bringing up the child, it's difficult to bring up the child with such disabilities. It was so hard for them, but right from the start, they did their best to make me independent. Who is me here? Here, me is Nick Vujicic. So, right from the day he was born, right from the day they felt like, yes, we have to do something for this child to make him independent. From that minute, their only intention was to make this child independent. Of course, if he has no parents, how will he make his work himself? Isn't it difficult? Until parents are alive, this child will be okay. Once that time limit finishes between this child and parents, what will happen to this child? How will he survive in this world? So their motto was only to make this child independent. My dad put me in the water at 18 months and gave the courage to learn how to swim. 18 months. 12 months is 1 year. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Means 1.5 year old. When the child was just 1.5 year old, his father threw him in the swimming pool to make him learn swim by himself. There was no coach for him. Okay. I also got really into football and skateboarding. No legs, but also football and skateboarding. I totally love the English Premier League. Already we know that he loves English Premier League. So what all sports does he play? Football, skateboarding, and in the first page number 3, golf, he swims, he surfs. Yes, all these things he does. I wish I could have done at least one among all these things, though I am perfect. Yes, I also got really into football and skateboarding. I totally loved the English Premier League. Nick's father was a computer programmer and accountant, and he taught his little son how to type with his toe at just 6 years old. When Nick was just 6 years old, since his father was a computer programmer and accountant, he taught his child how to type with his toe. And not only father, mother also did something here. See, his mum means mother. His mother invented a special plastic device that meant he could hold a pen or pencil. So mummy invented a plastic device, special plastic device that could hold a pen and pencil, just like chalk holders. Yes. Despite means in spite of. Instead of using the word in spite of, we use despite. Despite the risk of being bullied. Bullied means teased or harmed. In spite of being, despite the risk of being bullied, his parents insisted Nick on attending mainstream school. So he knows pretty well that the child has got disability. In spite of that, he insisted Nick to attend regular or normal school, what we attend normally like. It was the best decision they could have made for me, adds Nick, who later achieved a degree in financial planning and real estate. He could achieve degree in financial planning and real estate. It was very hard, but it gave me independence. See, education is not just to gather certificates. Frankly speaking, certificates are of no use. By studying, we get knowledge, and that knowledge, once we attain or once we gain that knowledge, nobody can steal in this world, and that knowledge gives us lots of strength. It builds up our personality, our way of thinking, in fact, frankly speaking, attitude, and it gives us lots of independence. We feel quite confident with the knowledge what we have. So always strive for knowledge, not for marks. Of course, your knowledge gets reflected through marks, but strive for knowledge. Whatever you read, you should try understanding the hidden intention behind that paragraph. Why they have given this to me in this age, in this textbook. If you think that way, automatically you will shine in your career. Okay. Yeah. I was deeply depressed when I was 8 years old. He was deeply depressed when he was 8 years old. He said, I went to my mum crying and told her I want to kill myself. He was being teased, he was being bullied, he was being troubled by his friends, peer group in n number of ways. He couldn't tolerate all those things. He went crying to his mother and said, I want to kill myself. Means he wanted to commit suicide. He doesn't want to live in this world where people are not supporting him. Is that the right decision, children? Killing ourselves? No, that's not at all right. We came to this earth on some purpose. We have to finish that, and then once we complete all our tasks, what we have to complete here, we will be automatically out of this world. Just like you must be watching Bigg Boss show now. So we enter into Bigg Boss house with some tasks. Once our task is done, we will be out of the house. The same way, this world is also a Bigg Boss house. We came here for a temporary period of time. We complete our tasks, and then automatically we will be getting promoted to our original place. Okay, this is not our permanent place. So he wanted to kill himself. That's a very foolish thought it's a very foolish idea just to get rid of this temporary problems. But what happened? Let's see. I felt cold and bitter. It's an idiom, children. I felt cold and bitter. It is an idiom. Means what is the meaning of that? Feeling terror and uncomfortable. He started feeling terrific. He started feeling uncomfortable in this world. That means I felt cold and bitter. It is so terrific to him to live here. I hated God for doing this to me and was terrified. Terrified means frightened. I was terrified of what would happen with my parents if my parents weren't there to look after me. Okay, if my parents are not with me, who will take care of me? That's the question haunting this man. I could brush my own teeth with a wall-mounted brush and wash my own hair with pump action soap, but there was so much that was impossible for me. With the help of his parents, the special devices what his mother has invented for him, he could brush himself with wall-mounted brush. Means a brush is mounted on the wall, he just had to go there, just use that to brush his teeth. And there is a shower kind of thing where there will be pump action soap. Soap comes and then automatically pump starts. But there are many things which are impossible to him. Just brushing by himself and taking bath by himself doesn't make him comfortable the whole day. There will be many more things which he should do by himself. At age 10, Nick tried to drown himself in the bath, but luckily the attempt was unsuccessful. At the age of 8, since he is a small child, he went to his mother crying that I don't want to live, I want to kill myself. But somehow mother convinced and he was safe. But at the age of 10, just like you people teens, he tried committing suicide. He tried killing himself by drowning himself in the bathtub. But somehow, fortunately, that attempt was unsuccessful. It was an unsuccessful attempt. He failed in committing suicide. Maybe God was planning something that he should motivate many people in this world. That's why his attempts are unsuccessful. Okay, I felt there was no purpose when you lack purpose and strength. See, there is lot of meaning in this one sentence if you try understanding it from the depth. I felt there was no purpose when you lack purpose and strength. See, there is no meaning. I felt there was no meaning in living when you have no purpose and strength in you to lead this life. Strength means not that strength lifting all the things. Strength means tackling people, able to mingle with people, communicating with them, facing them very boldly. That is called strength. And purpose means there is no meaning. What is life? What is his life? He still didn't decide what his life is, what his career is. When there are no such things, when there is no purpose to his life, when there is no meaning in his life, when he has no strength to make himself fit in this world, he felt that there is no meaning in living. Okay, it is hard to hold on, he said. It is hard to live longer like this, he said. But with the help of his religion, friends and family, Nick managed to pull through to become an international symbol of triumph, means great victory over adversity. Adversity means difficult or unpleasant situation. So he became a motivational speaker, an international symbol. Okay, he succeeded in his life with many difficult situations. There were many difficulties in his life, but he succeeded. When I was 13, I read a newspaper article about a disabled man who had managed to achieve great things and helped others. Said, Nick. You know, sometimes even small articles will turn our life into beautiful, you know, they take our life into beautiful track, beautiful path. So what happened when he was just 13-year-old, he read a newspaper article about a disabled man who had managed to achieve great things, and also he helped others. And this attracted Nick. When a disabled man could lead a very good life, managed to achieve many great things, and he is inspiring many people, why can't I do? Why couldn't I come out of this depression and lead a beautiful life with inspiration, not only boosting myself but also boosting people? So this thought came into his mind. So there are two turning points in his life. The first one is the decision of joining Nick into a normal school. That is the first one. And the second one is reading this newspaper article. These two are good turning points in his life. And what is that another good thing what happened with him? Unsuccessful attempt of suicide. Okay, these are the three things where you have to remember, and there are many small points given here. Many short bits can be asked. If you are perfect in those short bits, you can attempt your paper very easily. Sometimes you will get this paragraph, the same paragraphs with blanks there, and you will be asked to fill up the blanks with the appropriate word. Then you have to put the exact word. That is the reason why I am dealing it in three parts. Like yesterday's session, the last session was part 1, and today's session is part 2. This way, if you read it in parts and parts, things get registered in your mind and you can attempt your paper. And what I discussed just now about fill in the blanks with very appropriate words, you can score 2 marks. Sometimes the same bit appears for 4 marks also. So this gives you 4 marks easily if you read every day that particular things, and they will ask one solid paragraph. If the first paragraph appears in your paper, the same first paragraph comes without any additions and deletions. So I request you all to read this, all this part. If you have not read yesterday, please don't neglect reading English textbook. Not only English textbook, all the language textbooks reading is very, very important. It not only builds your vocabulary, but also you can communicate with people very easily. You will learn lots of things, and at the same time you will also get good marks. Okay, so I would like to wind up with my class today, and in the next class we will be completing this lesson. Okay, and then we will have textbook part, like behind we have few questions, grammar and all that. So we will be completing that. Okay, that's all for today. And yesterday's class also I told you all to make a note of these difficult word meanings. So now I'll just move aside, take a screenshot or pause the video, copy down the meaning of these words, and then let's catch up with let's catch up again with the same lesson. Thank you children. Please make a note of it.